We're very excited to be broadcasting from the Brier, and we're welcoming in Team BC's Catlin Schneider, fresh off the ice. I'm getting roaring reports, Catlin, about this victory. They all are much needed at the Brier. But you, with your last shot, a draw to win, 9-8 over Manitoba's Reed Carruthers. Congratulations on it, man. You're looking fit and trim as always. Big win, eh?
Thanks, Rod. Yeah, that's a big one. Knocked off the last remaining undefeated team. So you don't see that very often at a Brier on a Tuesday. So yeah, pretty pumped. We knew that was a must win for us. It's different this year. It's only top 3. It's not top 4, as we've seen in some previous years. So it's a dogfight out there. There's a lot of crazy things going on, a lot of upsets. Yeah, it's going to be fun, and we just got to keep our head down and keep doing what we're doing.
I should mention the others. Manitoba, Dunstone, it's a final, right? Yeah, 9-6 over New Brunswick, and Northern Ontario over Scott Howard, Ontario, 10-6. This puts you at 3-2, Catlin. That was like, as I look at this, that was must win. Like, they're all must win, but this one specifically was must win, was it not?
Yeah, I think moving forward, they're pretty much all must wins. Like, you might get lucky at 3 losses and sneak in. You got to have a good draw, which at the time, like the Lost Stone draw, LSD, which we don't at this moment. But you know what? I think just one game at a time, go out there and put our head down and focus on that game and try not to look too far ahead.
Well, and I'm sure you'd agree, literally one shot at a time, but we're sitting here broadcasting on national television, Canadian Men's Curling Championship, the Montana's Brier. We were teeing this up going in through a wonderful partnership with Curling Canada, all these Sask boys that are repping other provinces or wildcard teams. Can you explain the road to come in with BC, like the lid you've got on right now? I forgot you went out there. So how did this happen?
Yeah, well, after last year, I knew there was going to be opportunity out there as a opening as a skip. Been thinking about skipping for a couple of years, so it just kind of worked out. You can have an import player. You can also have a birthright player. So if you're born in that province, you can always curl there. And you can have one person curl on your team that lives somewhere else that wasn't born there as well. And so we have 2 guys living in Victoria. Jason's in Edmonton, but he was born in BC. And I'm the import player. So, yeah, I mean, I had the Brier sketched on my calendar for a long time now. And that was our goal this year. And it's great to be here. It's tons of friends and family. And it's been awesome. The patch has been buzzing. We're just happy to be in it and kind of get rolling now. And you know what? We were really close in the first 2 games. Scott Howard made an unbelievable shot, kind of a thin triple to beat us, or else we're 4-1 right now. And we're in the head front. So, that's how it is. Every team's great out here. You're going to have some really good shots go for you, really good shots go against you. And, yeah, we're just staying patient.
Well, you know what's wild about that is, I've been at a lot of national championships, tankards, provincial Scotties, and then national championships like Super Bowls and Grey Cups and Memorial Cups. It's like the round robin's all fun, but the big one's still coming. You know what I mean? It's like I'm sure it seems wild all week, and the wildness is still coming. Right? How do you keep your head about you as a team? How do you do that? Even when you mentioned on the weekend losing to Scott Howard, how do you keep your spirits up, knowing we're still a good team? He just made a shot at the end that we didn't.
Yeah, it's one of those games. That one was one of those games where it's like, hey, it was our first game at the Brier in front of kind of my hometown crowd. We're all just a little bit nervous to get going, and we played really well. So I think that was the most important thing. We didn't come out with the W, but it'd been a lot better. Or a lot worse, if we would have got absolutely smoked in 6 ends and see you later, then we would have to have some chats. But we just said, hey, we played well. There's a quarter inch from us winning that game, and let's just keep up to it. And actually, honestly, I had a decent game against Dunstone too. They had a couple fortunate shots, run-ins that just went really well for them, and that's how it goes out here. Like, every team's so good. You need a couple lucky bounces. You got to kind of be lucky to be good. So, yeah, I mean, we put ourselves in a good spot now, and we play Northern Ontario tonight. Again, in a must-win. So I'm proud of the boys. Everyone's playing really well, and I think we have a good shot to make the championship pool.
Well, to be honest, when I saw your name in the pool, it kind of tugged at my heart a little bit because you've been through a lot in your curling road. To come back with BC and the shot to win this thing, I mean, I was around, Kat. I know there's a fire burning in you. Trust me, I know it. I'm plying my trade elsewhere, right? What was your emotions coming into this thing? What was it like? And it'd be one thing to look across the ice and see Mike McEwen in green. We'll get to that, but there's a lot of motivation for you here.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, and I mean, we went through the highs and lows. I mean, with us curling with Matt Dunstone there, and we won a bronze medal in Kingston, and then I was with Flash in Lethbridge, and we made the playoffs and lost on an angle raise shot that Gushu made against us to go to the semifinal. There, we made the playoffs there. So obviously both for Saskatchewan, and so it has been an up and down kind of wild, and that's curling. It seems like nowadays. So yeah, I think the big thing for me coming to this was it's going to be a bit different wearing the blue. But you know what I said? I don't care what color I'm wearing. I'll curl with my shirt off if I have to. If I can play in hometown Brier, that's all that really matters. And let's just try to give ourselves a shot to be in the playoffs and be there at the end.
Well, plus you're an athlete, right? So you look around because I've had Hebert on this show. I've had Dunstone on this show. I've had Rachel Holman on this show. We've talked about the chaotic nature of sports right now. And who was it that said, it might have been McEwen, that this rule isn't new. It's just rare that skips would move from province to province. And Michelle Schneider did it a few years ago with Manitoba. But it's blowing people's minds, right? What's the reaction been like for you coming home to curl with BC? What kind of reaction did you get coming into this thing from the fans?
Yeah, obviously I think people would prefer me to be in the green. But nonetheless, I mean, no matter, all my close friends and family, they're cheering for me no matter what, and they're here rooting. I think it's just different, right? Like, we're curling against teams on the world stage that can pick from an entire country. Italy, Sweden, some of the top teams in the world, Scotland, right? Whereas we're pretty subjected, or have been subjected to provinces here for a long time. So I think Curl Canada is trying to open that up to make sure that our top guys can still play together. We have more options to create teams, from different provinces if we need, but also still keep the historic Brier and the provinces intact, right? So that you still are cheering for your province kind of thing. And that's a big thing. We can't lose the Brier. It's the greatest curling show on earth. So I wouldn't want to be in that hot seat making those decisions. It's not easy. If you open it up to everybody to play with anybody, then you kind of lose the provincial feel. And you have guys curling from all over the country together. And if you don't open anything up, it's tough to find four guys in one town that have this ability to find sponsorship, to have a job and a family that supports them to be gone that much, and just have the ability to do it too. So I think you've done a pretty good job so far. It is a different feel, and I think people are slowly getting used to it. And I don't think everyone still understands the rules. But I mean, we're doing what we can to try to beat all the other teams in the world that aren't Canadian, right? And that's not easy. Everyone's good these days. So it's interesting, and I'm taking it in stride and curling for BC at the Brier in my hometown of Regina. It's definitely a different feel for sure, but I'm happy to be here nonetheless.
You're Weston Dressler coming back with the Blue Bombers. That's what you are, to play at Mosaic Stadium. And he won. By the way, he won coming back in blue.
That's right.
So, I just say the way that rule was, the way the rule is, it's working, right? It just, people don't like change, and I'm guessing curling fans lead that parade. They don't like change, but it's working. So I guess I'll just say this: your game tonight, your thoughts on it, and plans for keeping your hammer down the rest of the week.
Yeah, we play Northern Ontario tonight. They've had a great week so far. I think probably one of the biggest surprises here, and in a good way. They've curled awesome. They're at the top kind of the pool right now. They just beat Scott Howard. But a big one for us, if we can be at 4-2, push them to 2 losses, we're right in the mix. I think people have overlooked them a little bit, I think, is the issue. Trevor hasn't been here before, but obviously he's curling super well. So I think if we can just have the same mentality coming into this morning against Jacobs and Crothers, I think we'll be okay. And we're gonna have lots of lots of people cheering us on tonight. So it'll be good. Yeah, and that's as far as I'm looking tonight. Not looking any farther than that.
That's all you can do. As you said, one game at a time. Well, I never thought I'd cheer for BC for anything, but because of you, I am. So, Catlin, thanks for the time, man. Good luck.
Thanks, Rod. Appreciate it. Take care, man.